This show is sponsored by MidasResources.com, your trusted source for precious metals since 1996. Call Midas today at 1-800-686-2237.
Welcome to this week's edition of A World Crisis Radio. This is your host, Webster Tarpley, speaking to you from Washington, D.C. And this week, I believe we can offer what amounts to a world exclusive, the kind of analysis that we try to deliver. I think we can deliver some today. And it revolves around the great questions of war and peace, specifically Syria, the Assad government, once again threatened by warmonger elements here in the United States, in particular by those bankrupt and stupid parts of the intelligence community who were so focused on their hatred for Assad that they neglected other more serious threats coming from this attempted Tamerlane operation, right? Timur Lang. We can read Christopher Marlowe's version of Tamerlane the Great, how a very small force can, under conditions of social breakdown, become a real threat. Anyway, those bunglers are still at it. And here's what it comes down to. We warned you that Republicans are warmongers. Republicans are warmongers. There are no significant exceptions because they're all appealing to the same warmonger, bigoted, racist base. That includes Little Rand Paul. That includes Cruz. That includes every one of them. They all have to be warmongers because otherwise they cannot compete. And they want to compete. So there it is. So here it is. We warned you. We ran a whole campaign here. Arrest McCain for ISIS. Hashtag, right? Do it. Sharp, right? Sharp. Arrest McCain for ISIS. Diesis. Arrest McCain for ISIS. Okay. And now what do we get? The Republicans win significant gains in the recent election. And what happens? Within 10 days, you're back on the brink of war. This is what it comes down to. Now, the leading edge of this is a report coming from Ed Royce. And, of course, Ed Royce is the Republican chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, chairman of the United States House Committee on Foreign Affairs since 2013. This guy represents the reactionary precincts of Orange County, Anaheim, Fullerton, Ed Royce. So he appeared on CNN's New Day. New Day. Sounds vaguely Freemasonic, wouldn't you say? New Age, New Day? Doesn't sound so good. But in effect, this is the program with the son of Cuomo, Cuomo's son, the younger son, not the governor, but the other son. So Ed Royce appears on the CNN New Day, and he says there is a policy review involving Syria going on. According to Ed Royce and a couple of other unnamed sources cited by CNN in a wire on Thursday, the 13th of November, President Obama has asked his national security team for another review of the U.S. policy towards Syria after realizing that ISIS may not be defeated without a political transition in Syria and the removal of President Bashar al-Assad, senior U.S. officials and diplomats tell CNN. That is a cabal. That is a warmonger cabal attempting to carry out a warmonger coup. The review is a tacit admission that the initial strategy of trying to confront ISIS first in Iraq and then take the group fighters on in Syria without also focusing on the removal of Bashar Assad was a miscalculation. This all from unnamed sources. Then we get to the heart of the matter. Representative Ed Royce, chairman of House Foreign Affairs, said Thursday morning on CNN's New Day that he had also heard that the White House was shifting its strategy in part because Turkey and other Gulf states, which are hosting refugees from Syria, were pushing for the removal of Assad. Now look at this situation. Obama was in the Far East, still is in the Far East, right? Going from the APEC meeting in Beijing with President Xi of China, with Putin, going on then to Burma, Myanmar, for a meeting of ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and currently on his way to Australia for the G20 in Brisbane, Australia. He's traveling, as far as I can see, with Susan Rice. Kerry, warmonger Kerry, Skull and Bones Kerry, is traveling in the Middle East. And indeed, there was this big thing yesterday, I guess it was, on the Thursday of this week, that Kerry was meeting in Amman, Jordan, with King Abdullah of Jordan and Bibi Netanyahu, who I'm sure he brought his BB gun since he's Bibi. So that's not a very promising group either. I'm afraid Jordan has degenerated into a kind of a satellite of the Mossad. Not much more to be said about that. But we're left then with this idea that there's not just a policy review, but a policy review with a very definite angle. Time to bomb Assad. That's what they call a policy review. Force through such a policy review. Now, fortunately, this has then been denied. And this was also a couple of hours later. Looks like it was about 11 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, the 13th of November. Here we have Ben Rhodes. We've crossed swords with this character in the past. Deputy National Security Advisor. So Susan Rice's right-hand man. And he's traveling with the president. Maybe Susan Rice is actually back in the White House. I have to track down some of these things. However, he says the Obama administration is not, repeat, not formally reviewing Syria policy. So here's what we then get, not just Ben Rhodes saying this stuff, but a senior administration official had told the network the following, quote, developments on the ground have caused the national security team to collectively conclude that we may not have time for Iraq first. This official goes on to say, in an ideal world, you will drive ISIL out of Iraq and pivot to Syria. But if by then the moderate opposition in Syria has been smacked and ISIL is still there, that doesn't help. So, and once again, the report about the policy review suggested that the U.S. could implement a no-fly zone against Assad's forces, or accelerate and expand the train and equip program. But Rhodes says no. Back in a minute on World Crisis Radio.
Do you have relatives and friends that are convinced there is no need ever to prepare for any kind of emergency? Are these also folks you buy Christmas presents for? At 30dayfoodsupply.com, we can solve both of these problems at the same time. Go to 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. We can ship your Christmas presents directly to them. Choose from our original 30-day food supply, our long-term storage vegan burger mixes, or other oatmeal, soups, porridges, beans, and granolas for everyday use. All products are non-GMO, MSG-free, and vegetarian. Most are gluten, soy, and nut-free. Call 541-229-0010 today. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low, cutting out the middleman by buying directly from their producers in Oregon. Remember, only $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Visit the website 30dayfoodsupply.com. Call 541-229-0010. 30dayfoodsupply.com. 541-229-0010.
Mike Stenerson for Midas Resources. At no time in history have precious metals been more important, certainly not in my 22 years in the industry. The dollar has lost over 90% of its value in the last 60 years. No fiat currency has ever survived the government printing presses. Ours is not immune. The time is now to be proactive. 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. Anything tied to the dollar is at risk. CDs, annuities, 401ks, IRAs, stocks, bonds, you name it, so decide. Do you want to leave a legacy of wealth or debt for your family? The choice is yours. Call me at 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. That's 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. Be proactive, not reactive. Call 1-800-686-2237, extension 116.
I am so excited. My Ghost 80% AR-15 rifle just arrived. I bought it from guns80.com. I've wanted an 80% AR-15 ever since my buddy Mark got his. I just had to have one. And when I was on the website at guns80.com, not only did they have a great deal on the Ghost ARs, but I also found lots of other really cool stuff. And they're 80% specialists. At guns80.com, they have a great selection of pistol kits and rifle kits. All of them can be legally shipped straight to your front door. 80% lowers and jigs starting at $50. 80% rifle kits, $500. Everything you need to build an AR in your home, all at guns80.com. Cool part, 100% legal in most states. So, get your AR-15 today. I got mine. Now it's your turn. Go to guns80.com. I can't wait to get mine built. Get your Ghost AR-15 today at guns80.com. Go to guns80.com. That's guns, the number 8080.com.
The experts at Web.com want to build your business a successful website for free, just like we did for these current Web.com customers.
We've used and looked at other website designers, but there's nobody better than Web.com.
Web.com can build your website in as little as 7 days free. Plus, we'll promote it on all the major search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. If after 30 days you're happy, we'll continue to provide promotion, hosting, support, and maintenance, all for one low monthly fee. If not, cancel and pay nothing.
If you're in business today and you don't have a web presence, you won't be taken seriously.
Call right now and you'll also get a free .com or .net domain name for your new website powered by VeriSign, the world's leading domain name provider.
Call 800-297-0154. That's 800-297-0154.
No upfront charge for site build, after which ongoing fees apply. Rights to site are relinquished when canceled. Domain included during active service, after which fees apply.
That's 800-297-0154.
GCN, proudly sponsored by UnseenNow.com. Find out how to stop Big Brother in his tracks at UnseenNow.com. This is GCN.
Welcome back to World Crisis Radio, and we've got a scoop. I think we're the only analytical operation that has figured this out. I'd like to thank my good friend JC of the Proletariat, also famous on Twitter under various screen names. JC of the Proletariat helped figure this out. So remember now, we've got all of these leaks going to CNN.